What's up, everybody? Welcome to Devon County, your place for all things HBO's Lovecraft Country. I am your humble tour guide, Anthony Sterling. Along with me today, my usual good friends and also tour guides. Starting off with Gadea McHale. Hi, Gadea.
Hi.
Melissa Newell. Hey, girl.
Hey, folks.
Hey, friend. Hey. y'all know this. Y'all know this thug. Ashley effing Bro, who, in the spirit of Letitia fucking Lewis, is riding dirty with the red lips,
Looking gorgeous.
and the dark tips. I don't know how I can make that rhyme, but
That's awesome. I'm gonna take that.
She is in Letitia Farm. She is ready, and y'all already know there's two things she ain't never seen, and that is a turtle with speed.
Lord.
And I am not going to finish the rest. You will just have to watch episode 2. Plug.
Right.
To figure it out. And last but certainly not least, I begged her. I've been on her for this. She always talking about, oh, I'm going to do it. And then she punk out. So I finally got her to watch Lovecraft Country, and she is now a humble tour guide like the rest of us. Ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome.
From the great state of South Carolina, the state that gave us the greatness that is Chadwick Boseman and the Geechee language, as well as Gullah Gullah Island, which kicked ass on Nickelodeon back in the day. I give to you, my good friend, and original Jamaican girl, Topeka Van Horn. Wagwan, sis. Wagwan.
Yes,
Wagwan, sis.
Hey, everyone.
Hello. Welcome, sis. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, y'all know the drill. We talk about all things Lovecraft Country. Every episode, we will dissect it. We will go through it. We will talk. We will joke. And disclaimer, you already know, because this show does take place in the 1950s, racism will be talked about. And if you have a problem with that in 2020, ladies and gentlemen, you are the problem. Get some help. Please, I beg you. Also, like, comment, share, subscribe to this channel, please. Seeing some good views, and I see we get some good talk back. So let's keep that going. So hit that red subscribe button. It'll only take a second. Now, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 3 of Lovecraft Country, Holy Ghosts. And yes, the intro to the show showed that the ghost was in the church hardcore. We had to say our goodbyes to our resident father figure, Uncle George.
Yeah.
Woo! That was a hard one. That was a bitter pill to swallow, but we had to move on, just like everybody in Chicago. We lost a good one, but to see him being celebrated at mourn, but mostly celebrated, that was a beautiful scene. I have to say that episode, this episode was really, really good. I was looking for some black joy. I got it, but not at the beginning. They just had to say, you won't get to smile in the first 5 to 10 minutes. You will, you are going to have a few tears to shed. And I really loved Hippolyta in that scene. You didn't see her, you didn't hear from her, but to see her dancing, catching the Holy Ghost, it really reminded me of watching National Geographic, when they go to Africa and we go to the tribes and they would have these funerals, or what we would call funerals, they would call celebrations of life, and seeing them dancing and chanting and jumping and just being a part of the bigger thing known as life, and to celebrate and send one of theirs to the ancestors. It reminded me of that. But at the same time, me being me, Chicago, funeral, black woman lost her husband. I automatically thought, and I don't know if anybody else did, Florida Evans, Good Times. Damn. I was waiting for it in the kitchen when she had the cup. You can see it. I was waiting for the moment of breakage. And Hippolyta said, hell no. I'm not breaking for nobody. And you could see I would say every wife, black wife, and I'm not going to ostracize the white folks, but I have to talk about us because that's who I know best. Seeing, like, even with my mom, I have to bring it to myself. When my dad died, it was hard to see her even shed a tear, because she held it in for so long. And then all of a sudden it happened. So not seeing it from Hippolyta, it was like, oh, okay. Nisha Green them don't know me, but it just felt like something that was very close to me. So that scene right there just threw me for a loop. Like I felt good, but I also felt sad at the same time because I got to see her celebrating her husband, but at the same time mourning her husband and trying to find her way through what's to come now, because George was the head of household. He was her husband, best friend, father of her daughter. And now it's like gone.
It seems to me, excuse me, that scene speaks to who we are. And like you said, us best, I'm always going to speak to us. That, and I'm not going to say strength, because strength, you can have strength even in your weakness. But it talks about the resiliency of us and the resilience that we have even in the face of what seems like insurmountable defeat. And even if you listen to the song I was playing, that your wings are clipped only so I can make them stronger, so you will still fly. And I'm not a churchgoer. I will say I'm more spiritual than anything, but like they said, everything is unto his glory. And for everything to be unto his glory, you have to be glorified. You have to be used in his way. So even Letitia sitting there crying, thinking I'm absolutely gutted and defeated, but listen to the song. Your wings and we still, so you can fly despite you going through this. And it's just reminiscent of, I hate to say this, I don't know when this shit stops, meaning racism, the trials and tribulations that we always go through, that we go through every time we step outside our front door. And how, and I hate to say this, but even in our own homes now, because of Brianna, because of Botham Jean, there is no safe place. So that resiliency is always there with us. Even when we feel defeated, even when we want to say, fuck it, even when we're at our lowest, that, and let's just say, bear with me to make sense, beyond God, to the ancestors, we look, sometimes I personally, it's not a God that I go to the ancestors who walked, who did it, who were lynched, robbed, beaten, murdered. They were here. I ask them to carry me through before I even say sometimes whatever this higher power, if it exists, I go to them, the people who've been through it. So that's what that whole scene was about, resilience, and being resilient.
And you see what I took from it, and I guess maybe, of course, we're all pulling on personal experience. When I saw her just sitting there while everyone else was catching the Holy Ghost or hooping, hollering, and you sat there, you're just sitting there like, I am broken, and everybody else can pull from whatever they're pulling from to dance and sing and praise and all that, and you're just sitting there and only being able to shed a tear because so much has happened that, and of course every person has to deal with some kind of strife, but when she just sat there defeated and just that one tear, it was like, you've been there. It's like, how can I do all of this knowing that all of these things are still weighing on me that I have to fix or, just got out of, and you could only shed that one tear. You can't catch the Holy Ghost like everyone else apparently is around you, even though she called it later, but we're going to get to that.
Even the daughter held it together. She was strong as well.
Super strong.
Yeah, Diane.
Because it was only weeks that passed, right?
Yeah, it was weeks since the funeral, And the one thing that got me, who was the voice? Because that did not sound like Letty.
At the song saying that, the intro.
No, it's like they were singing to her.
It wasn't George.
No, it wasn't George. It was a woman.
No, I was wait at the beginning. Because
she's in church. And she's like, but
they say her name.
You saved me, Letty. but right now you're having like it was big. I thought it was a conversation within herself.
Could be, could have
And
been.
it could be, but in a representation of a voice that might be familiar, which could be her mama.
Right.
But also on that in that funeral, she made it to George's funeral, but she didn't make it to Big Mama funeral.
But you see, I was looking for a casket, and there was no casket.
That's why I feel like it's not real. For some reason, inside of me,
I was looking for a casket.
I feel like it's not real.
Well, the Ouija board told us it was real. The Ouija board told us George was dead.
Well,
so I was like, was that for the audience?
But if there was no casket and just seeing the celebration of life, because that's what it really is, a celebration. Let me tell you something. You walk into a black church, I don't care how long you've never been in church, those suckers will have you believe it right there. So I'm like, oh Lord, I'm sorry. But
already.
But having said that, like this goes back to some African ancestry that it's a continuum. Right. You drop a body. So what does it matter if we don't see the body? But to your point, y'all could be right and I'll be like, damn, Gadir and Ashley were right. But
right.
It wasn't as important for me because that loss, body or no body, it's what Maya Angelou, how something makes you feel. That loss is felt.
It still reverberates regardless. No matter what.
And like I said, I'll drink a whole bottle in front of y'all. If y'all turn out to be right and Uncle George's ass is not dead, then I'll be mad at Misha. Because you know what? If you're going to go there, go there. Don't go there and backtrack. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want you to be. So what do you think?
But even to your point, he might not be living in the
physical
world.
Right.
Yeah.
He could still be, sending out little,
messages.
Yeah.
So the part that that stood out the most to me was the fact that Letitia sat and she stood in how she was truly feeling. She looked around and everyone around her was shouting and they was praising God and they was celebrating what we think George's life and his passing. But what she did, which I respect, is that she sat there and she was truly truthful on how she was feeling. She didn't get up and join, which a lot of church people like to do, because we're trained to shout. When we go into church, you shout, you praise God, you run, you all this stuff. Even if you're not truly feeling that way on the inside, we're trained to do it anyway. And I respect the fact that she sat there and she didn't do it because she truly was not feeling that. And it speaks a lot to her character. It speaks a lot to who she truly is. Later on, we see that she does other things, but in that moment when she was still broken, when she was still bound, when she was still in her sadness and her sorrow, she sat there and she expressed her emotions in a different way than everyone else was expressing it.
Yeah, we all grieve differently.
And you know what, Topeka, thinking about that a little bit more, all joking aside, because I think, Ashley, you alluded to this maybe last week. Forgive me if it was the week before, but how as Black women, we got to get up. We go through pain and, okay, get up, be strong again. And she didn't do that, Topeka. So you're absolutely right. And I'm glad that they allowed her that, because it's a burden placed on Black women, especially, but also, Gadir, to you, of other women of color. You go through this, be strong. Oh, cry for 1 second maybe, but you got to be strong. And then sometimes they don't even allow us our tears.
Right.
So that was, so I actually agree with that. So.
And I also think, and not to piggyback off the church momentum, but I think Letitia was trying to fill a void that later gets filled some other way.
And now we've left the church. The funeral is over. Time has passed and some good fortune. I was looking for some Black joy and I kind of got it. Our good friend, good old Letty bought a house.
Yes.
And not just any house. A big, 3-4 story Victorian on the north side of town, which I believe is the not
white side.
Thank you. Well, I was going to say the not so cordial to Negro side.
The white side.
The white side of town. And this is, once again, a little bit of horror, a little bit of sci-fi, actually playing on what actually happened back in the day, especially in Chicago, with the redlining of neighborhoods, not even the beginning, the hardcore practice of stay your black ass over there. Do not come here. You are not welcome here. Um, but Letitia fucking Lewis said, like hell I ain't, and bought this massive house, which we come to find out is the Winthrop house, which last week I told y'all fun was gonna happen. And boy, was it fun. So, with that being said, shall we just get into that fun, or shall we try to dissect the buying of the house? I think we can have a little fun on both ends. Because we do see now there is a kinship or a trying to rekindle some sisterhood between Ruby and Letty. Letty is one of those righteous sisters. You know, we found out in the first episode she was doing the bail movement before the bail movement became a thing like today. She was helping revolutionaries at that time, or civil rights leaders, posting their bail. And she wanted to take the house and do something even better. And that was to make low-income housing for people of color to live in better parts of the city, like the North Side. But the neighbors didn't want that. And they showed they didn't want it by doing something that was just really damn heinous, annoying and heinous. You know, setting up all the horns in the cars and keeping it
military tactics.
Some military tactics. And I gotta say, car batteries were amazing back in the 1950s.
Right.
You let a horn nowadays blow for maybe 10 seconds, that battery is dead.
Right.
So all that American ingenuity, huh?
Yeah, all that ingenuity was full
went to
force.
shit.
Right.
But they never tell us how Letty got the money, you know, because looking at that house, even though it was all ransacked and it did not look livable, you weren't getting that on whatever the money Letty borrowed would never get her that house. So getting the house, we get some new problems. And now we're truly in the supernatural realm with this house, because the Winthrop house is haunted. And this is where my black joy kicked in hardcore, because it played on one of my favorite genres, which is horror, which is also the haunted house. And we all know the jokes about black folks in haunted houses. The ghost says hello. Our black asses are saying goodbye.
Goodbye. As soon as that elevator would have fell, funny, I'm out.
Let's go.
So, which is why I had to suspend all disbelief for this part.
Yes.
Because we all know, like you said, and then like deuces, motherfucker, we out.
Yeah.
This house I have a mouth on me. Sorry, speaking, because I know you said you're Christian.
No, you good. Go ahead.
I know, but still, I like to respect people. But yeah, we know my black ass would have been deuces.
Two suspicious creeks.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I would have never made it in the house.
Exactly.
Yeah. I wouldn't have made it in the house because the house looked crazy on the outside.
Bad feelings.
Yes.
Your bad feelings.
The Adams family, when I saw it, I was like, ain't no way. I said, what was you thinking?
They wanted us to assume they were white people in this episode for a minute, so we did.
But what was funny is, I don't know if I'm remembering it wrong, but didn't they say like something led her to buy the house? Like, was she under a spell of some sort, or like the way?
See, I don't remember that part.
Well, because the way that cop was saying it, and then what later we find out later about that other white lady, that something made her like, how did you know it was the Winthrop house, or how did you come about even knowing this house existed or whatever? You know, so I thought maybe she was kind of guided into it. It's kind of alluded to that.
She was, but she was not guided by supernatural forces.
Oh, okay.
There's some things that come up, which we'll touch on.
Okay.
But with the house and this episode, this is why I'm loving the episode so much more, because it does remind me of two of the best haunting movies ever made. The first one is The Shining.
Oh God!
Did you say Boys in the Hood?
It Tales from the Hood.
Oh, okay.
Who said that?
I thought she said
Tales
Boys
from the Hood.
in the Hood.
Oh, Tales from the Hood. You thought she said boys.
I thought she said Boys in the Hood.
She's not far off with them both being horror, but go
Yeah.
on.
Oh,
Well,
exactly.
close.
Got your back,
Same
Ashley.
monsters.
Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
something wrong? Yeah. You just don't know what it is, brother.
Right.
Serious Styles. So it reminded me of The Shining by the way the show progressed, showing the days. And if you
Yes.
watch that episode, at the beginning, they did do a disclaimer back in the summer of 1995. They bought a
Yeah.
house and 3 people went in and they didn't come out. So if you've seen The Shining or the Amityville Horror, this really fit. Okay, if no one's seen Amityville Horror within the tour guide group, I recommend you see it. I don't think it was a movie where it went to the theaters. I could be wrong, but I
Yeah,
remember
I think
seeing it.
did.
It did. Okay.
It did.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a popular
It was a
movie.
big
It
thing,
just
yeah.
was
They
a scary
remade
movie
it.
that I wasn't going to see.
Yeah, they remade it with I believe Ryan Reynolds was in the remake.
Oh
But
God, that was
the
pathetic.
original,
Anyway.
yeah, it was hard. It wasn't good. The original, I
love you.
believe, had Josh Brolin's dad.
He knows too.
James Brolin.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
He's in the he was in the original, and man, that house was the shit. Because the house actually looked like an evil face.
Yeah.
You know, so
But
it-
hold
no.
on, excuse me.
Not
I
for
need to.
me.
I'm following you with Amityville, but you need to break something down for me because my understanding of The Shining and reincarnation, and maybe you're going to get there. And I'm sorry if I'm jumping the gun, but I'm not seeing how that jived
the
with.
aesthetic. I wasn't going with like
Oh,
the
the
storyline.
aesthetic.
The
Oh,
aesthetic.
okay.
But
My
also
bad.
Coming Days.
I dive
The
too
Coming
deep
Days.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks.
yeah,
I do.
On this one, it's not that deep. No,
Okay.
it's the aesthetic and the downward spiral of the days of each day becoming going further.
Got you.
and
So
further
the
into-
superficial parts
It's
of it. Okay,
yeah,
got you.
and,
Yeah.
and
My
the
bad. I
fact
was real.
apologize.
the hotel, the Overlook, was haunted, as well as the
Mhm.
Winter House was haunted.
Mhm.
Also, if you've seen what is it? Maybe no, not really 13 Ghosts, but those 2 movies, I had that
Tales from
feeling.
the Hood, man.
Tales from the the shit. But
You know
ain't the
what?
Terror Dome
Something
Oh.
raise the bar very high.
Definitely.
So I back you up.
I
100%,
agree.
Ashley.
Yes,
And I'm not
thank
being
you.
facetious. I actually mean that.
Yeah.
you can say Tales from the Hood storytelling. Look,
Right.
it was a little story being told about a horror moment.
Right.
Well, guess what? Folklore is all story. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Let me go. Me and Anthony gonna fight later, y'all. But anyway,
We ain't fighting here on Devon
we're
County.
lovingly having an argument.
Exactly. Because here on Devon County, every tour guide has something to say, and most of the things we say are fact with a little
Yes,
bit of
that's
fiction.
true.
So that
No,
was
only for you. Only for you.
You know what you asked. Anyway,
I love this man.
it was awesome. That's the one thing I loved about it. It felt like a good old ghost story, an old school 1950s ghost story. But then you have those moments where it does play on the namesake of the show, and that is Lovecraft. And the Lovecraft we're speaking of is HP. With the ghost itself, which we come to find out the previous owner of the Winthrop House was a man known as Hiram Epstein.
Mm-hmm.
And before we truly get into good old Hiram, piece of shit, we are given some more black joy because Letitia letting all these good folks come to move in to find sanctuary, to have a beautiful place to stay. What do black people do? We throw down. We have a party.
Wait, can I stop you real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Can we just it's orgasmic level of all the black historical figures she put in the house?
Yeah. A little bit of Baldwin.
Yes.
Yes.
Which
and a dancer, what's her name? Oh God, part of the I want to say Alvin Ailey crew when she was saying, I can't. Oh, shame on me, too much wine. But you don't know who I'm talking about.
Catherine Dunham.
Yes, thank you. Hello. Blame it on the wine.
Oh, and speaking of,
yes, you did see her. She was the one talking about her.
I didn't really catch that part.
Yeah,
because I was so into the house and the story itself. But,
thank you,
but there is a piece that we did gloss over, and I forgot, was the conversation after the funeral between father and son.
Oh
yeah,
Montrose
yeah.
and
Oh
Tig.
yeah.
Oh, the heat.
And
Montrose Omar's a fool with it.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna keep
Omar.
calling him Omar.
Yeah,
Omar.
he is Omar.
Or
Montrose
Montrose.
Omar.
Montrose, yeah.
He quickly learned
Omar.
that Tick is not a little boy anymore.
No.
There's so
And
much alike.
Ain't no
Oh my
banging on the
yes.
gracious.
tables. Ain't no banging on the tables.
Gadir,
Even in
you
your
hit
own
the
house.
nail
So
on the
much
head.
alike.
They are alike.
But
Yep.
what I really enjoyed, even going further back, there was a scene I wanted to talk about, but technical difficulties, guys, we had to go through them. The scene with Hippolyta in her bedroom looking at the book, Bram Stoker's,
Oh,
Bram
yeah.
Stoker's, not Strokers. Oop, Bram Stoker is a porn star. Bram Stoker is a racist piece of shit who wrote an amazing vampire book.
Bram Stoker.
Um,
I'm getting too drunk for this shit right
and
now.
there is a
Bram
moment.
Stoker. Sorry. I didn't even know. Obviously, I don't watch porn, but there was a Bram Stoker. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
Why would
just run with it. There's a part where she is ripping the pages out of the book,
Yeah.
and it is George's favorite book. And I think it leads to a scene that we're going to talk about between her and Montrose that I think made perfect sense for that scene to happen. While it was still a little, they're still grieving. There's still some heartache. There's still pain. Even at the point when she comes down for breakfast and she sees the cup standing up and she just slams it down because George dried his dishes, cups down. So it's something I saw where when she's ripping out the pages, when you look at a book with missing pages, you don't get the full story. So when she's talking to Montrose about what happened to George, something just don't feel right. Remember, she told him, Tig's been with me for a month. So we also know that a month has passed.
Right.
Yeah.
The timeline has been like a month has passed since Tig getting there, being, George dying. I just love that little, that kind of little foreshadowing that Hippolyta knows something ain't right. And to
A
rip
woman's
those
intuition.
pages out. Yeah, a woman's intuition, a wife's intuition.
Yeah.
Something's just not right. Like, this story is incomplete about how my husband
Something's
died.
missing.
And can I
something's
throw
missing.
this in here? And this is Gadir and Ashley, to your point. Now that you're saying this, and that's why I love this, that we're doing this, because now I'm going to say that the very thing you're talking about may ultimately prove Ashley and Gadir right. His favorite book was Dracula. What is Dracula? Immortality. You just alluded to pulling pages out.
Yes.
Incomplete story. We saw what we thought was George's death. He died. What we believe. But
George
that
will come
story
back as a cat monster. No, I'm just joking.
Okay, you see, but it may be an incomplete story. There you go. You're welcome, Ashley and Gadir. And if I'm still wrong,
and
I'm wrong.
to piggyback on that, she went and bought a new book.
Exactly.
So a new story to tell.
Resurrection.
Hey.
Topeka sitting there like,
come on, Topeka.
I was thinking
they actually said Jesus wasn't. I'm just saying in folklore, and no, honestly, because I took folklore. That virgin births and resurrections, that Jesus wasn't the first. I'm just saying that's a folklore. So go on, take it from me. I'm just helping.
The part that just came back to me when you guys was talking, it was the part where she was saying how it didn't make sense, but she said she saw the body. She said she saw how his body looked in the morgue. Am I saying that correctly?
No, she did.
Am I remembering that right?
I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But she was saying that she said something still didn't sit right. So we know physically she saw him dead.
Right.
So we know that part. But I'm wondering, like, now y'all got me thinking, like, oh, is he coming back?
Now
Ashley and Gadir have me. I need more wine. Kidding. I'm just I'm trying to know whether I'm done. But now that you see how that went full circle, so Ashley and Gadir, I think I may have come over to your side now. I don't know.
Just saying.
I'm still doubting, but.
And I'm wondering, did Uncle George take a back seat because he wanted the relationship between the father and the son to come together?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't
That's
know.
deep.
Man,
Oh,
we
wow.
probably sitting there going, I got y'all black asses way
And
out.
now the wind is
George
blowing,
been
and look,
dead.
a leaf landed on my head. I don't know about
Signs.
this.
Signs.
So,
It was the Holy Ghost.
right now, Misha Green,
Signs.
Jordan Peele, and JJ
She like,
Abrams
these
are just
crazy
sitting there
fools.
laughing their asses off at us.
They're laughing at us.
Let them
Look how
laugh.
deep. Look
We're
how
having
deep.
fun with
We
it.
going so deep. We going so
So
deep.
deep. Look at him go way too deep. Y'all
Put that wine down.
Right.
put the liquor down and
It
you
makes it more
stop.
fun.
Right. Well, you're just, honing in Montrose's character, so it's
Yeah,
not
you know.
bad.
So
Yeah.
with
Never
everything,
know.
being said, George could be, or could, to quote the great Mr. Johnson from the Color Purple,
Oh,
could
Lord.
be, could be not.
could be not.
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
So
Mhm.
we'll put that on the back burner or the black
Mhm.
burner, and we're gonna move on because it's party time. Oh,
Mhm.
it's party time. Letty's having a party, housewarming party,
Mhm.
and boy, were her neighbors just enthralled at seeing all that
Ooh,
black
it was
joy,
Karens and Karens.
the cutting up, the
Mhm.
elation, the fun. Ruby, oh sweet Ruby, Ruby singing her heart out in
Mhm.
red. She was
Yeah.
in fire red, going
Mhm.
off.
Love
Let the
her.
girl know.
Yes.
Mhm.
We know the elevator is broken again. The
Child.
elevator broke down.
Mhm.
And then we are truly greeted, as everything that usually happens with Black Joy, it gets shut down quick. Because earlier we met some of the neighborhood children, those loving pieces of shit. But they decide to take it another step further and go a little bit more crazy because we don't want you here in our house. Now, before the party, they broke the boiler, mind you.
Mhm.
They took out what else they did? They did the horns. They broke the boiler.
They did
They
the cross.
they
Fire.
burned the cross. The cross was at the party, but they also
Mhm.
put out signs in front of their yards.
Signs.
Yeah. Signs.
Deplorables.
This is a
Yeah.
white
Undesirables or whatever.
undesirables. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was
Yeah.
undesirables. Yeah.
It wasn't deplorables? No?
No, it wasn't deplorables.
Undesirables.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no, 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 no. That's
I must be thinking of another white suppressant.
no, 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 no. These were this was maggot ancestry. This was the Make America Great group. And if you really look at what is going on with them having that house, with Letty getting that house and the way they wanted her gone, it reminds me of what's going on today with a certain, you know, badly shaped leader of the free world,
Cheeto and Chief.
the Cheeto in chief.
Did you say badly shaped?
Badly
Can't
shaped.
take it.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I'm not an Adonis, but damn it, and his proclamation of saving the suburbs from becoming riddled with low income housing. And that is a fact, people. Once again, a work of fiction is basically showing you the factual world where you have someone who is supposed to be a person who is supposed to take care of all, not just some. And he is telling the some that the rest will not be infringing on your right to live in your fancy little suburbs. And this is what this group is doing to Letty. They are not letting her try to live her American dream. And yeah, it's sickening and it's still going on today. So, how, and I want to ask the question, what did y'all take from it? How did it make y'all feel? Let loose, let the world know. Melissa, I already know. I know you're gonna say. I know you going for it.
I'm gonna say be polite here, which I'm gonna probably jump ahead here. But one of the most consistent themes is, and I compared it to Edward Albee in that whole "Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf?" What happens when you buy into the American dream and realize it was never for you or meant for you, And even with the Jeffersons in the last episode, here I go. Okay, we get over that and we think, oh yeah, like you said, here's some joy. She buys a house, which should make anyone happy, that you own land, you own property, that you are now firmly getting your start on that American dream, and it's snatched away yet again. And I think a consistent theme is that, guess what? It's an illusion. The American dream was never meant for us.
Right.
Dream our own dreams, but it was never meant for us. And let's just talk about whom I call Agent Orange, a double entendre or a triple entendre if you really think about it. But it is like he is still using things and tactics that were used back then. Why? Because they still fucking resonate today.
Right.
There's something wrong with that it still resonates today.
Yeah.
And I'm going to jump ahead because I think it was Ashley or Gadir, and I'm sorry, because I know we all say so much here, but I think that you both alluded to it, and I don't remember who did it first, and it doesn't matter who did it first, because like I said, this is a community, we're doing this, is that timeline, they run askew to each other. It's the past and the present. It's not one that's far away and this, that. No, they're running parallel, askew to each other.
Same shit.
Exactly. Like that scene, and I'm going to jump a little bit ahead here and I'm going to come back to where we are. But when Letitia's being knocked around in that, Jesus Christ, in my heart, I'm crying and I'm hurting because I'm thinking of Freddie fucking Gray.
Right.
In Baltimore, remember? They put him in the... And I thought, Jesus, who doesn't get this?
Right.
What white person who is still living and breathing right now doesn't get that the shit you're still doing, listen to what I just said, that you're still doing is just as fucked up now as it was then, and yet you still don't want to fucking change your ways. There you go. You
acknowledge it.
Got it.
Because
Thank you.
This takes place in the summer of 55. We're in 2020, so that is 55 years.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
and they
our
have
parents. 65 years.
And they have this thing. They want, they want to keep it going. Like I said, and I was telling someone the other day, they want to keep that past as far away as possible. No, it's not far away. This is recent history.
Not far.
Yeah, it is 65. I did my math.
It's still recent history.
Yeah, it's our parents' age. You know, this is not
happening now.
Yeah, it's not like it's several generations
still happening.
ago. This is just one generational like leap. Like it's from parents to us. You know, it's like, come on.
And don't get me wrong. I want the American dream for every single one of us. But this is the thing, like I said before, about how we care about their children. They don't care about ours. Proven factually.
But you know,
they don't want us to have that dream.
Before America, y'all were kings and queens somewhere else. This is a temporary place. In the real world, this is a temporary place. So no matter how much we all try, unfortunately, this was not built like Anthony mentioned earlier, like with the American dream.
Broken
it's
sale
hard.
of goods.
Yeah,
it's a sale on broken goods.
But guess what? Temporary or not, this is what I see. This is what I know. Did I not say I'd be like Thomas? I deal in what I know and what I see.
Right.
And trust me, I want, when I drop this body, and I do believe. And guess what? I also will say this with 100% conviction. If I drop this body and there's nothing, it's just a piece I'm unaware of for all of eternity.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. This is what I know and what I see. I want it better for your children, my nieces and nephews and their children.
Right.
Because we don't know what's beyond this. I want right now.
Right.
I want this to be better. Because let me tell you something. I have a feeling we don't get it right here and we carry this shit into the next round. It just repeats until we finally get it right.
Right.
It's the matrix.
But what I love, like back to the show, is even though all of those things exist, Letitia still had hot sauce for the ass. So until y'all get the shit right, I got this bat for y'all ass, and I got these kings with these guns right behind me, covering me, while I fix this shit. Y'all want to burn crosses on my property,
right?
And yes,
I got hot sauce. I got hot sauce right here for you.
Burning crosses did happen back then.
And you loved our brothers standing up for us,
baby.
Yes,
They was organized.
I love that.
Like that Erykah Badu song. He's organized.
right.
He's on the front wall, whatever that song is. But I was so, I don't know, there was just a stirring in me when I saw that, because she had enough. Now, mind you, she had just filled her void for the first time.
Yeah.
And so she already emotional.
I want to get to the sex so bad about that scene.
I know, right? Can't help it. But now she's just become a woman. But now as soon as she becomes this, biological woman or womanhood, now she got to go handle this shit. So
like a man.
She ain't even had time to enjoy the moment.
No, she had her power pellet. She got powered up.
Yeah, right.
So
y'all can throw me off of here.
So Letitia Lewis is now Pac-Woman. She's now Miss Pac-Man.
I like
so
how
who won it, who got it, and I love when she threw that back at the Kevins and the Karens who were line witness.
But let's go back a little bit. We missed the part. The part where they moved in on Sunday because they knew that their neighbors were going to be in church.
Yeah,
right.
To me, she already knew inside her heart that American dream was already tainted. Because why would you have to move in when everyone is not there?
Secret.
Even her sister had warned her.
Right. Well, and the thing that Topeka brings up, that's actually happened. If I can't remember the name of the book, they make a play on it on the wonderful play A Raisin in the Sun, but it is based on some truth, because there is if I find the book, I hope I'll put it in the description.
They do move in. You're right.
That a lot of Black folks who were able, and not say on a whim, just wake up on the South Side and say, well, let's just go move in to Trumbull and all of that. They would move in on Sunday morning because they knew the good people would be praising God, praising the Lord. Yeah. So quite frankly, the devils would be in the Lord's house while y'all trying to get
Amen. That was a word.
trying to get, trying to move into your dream home
and come back with hell.
Exactly. The height of their hypocrisy on that day.
So that happened.
They not worshiping my God. I don't know who God they was worshiping.
Topeka, thank you for saying it, because I have a hard time believing. I've said it before.
That's the whole brainwashing thing.
Yeah.
Because that's not God. That's not God.
Caesar Borgia.
No.
Amen.
Right.
Exactly.
Not white
brainwashing up in,
So if anyone's curious about what Gadir said about Caesar Borgia, please go to www.google.com and learn that shit. Wikipedia has a wonderful page about, and it's actually Cesare Borgia, who was the son of Pope Alexander, and just go. It's some
not the popes who divided the continents and the countries and said that because you're white you have this one and and all this. Another
and Showtime also had an excellent show called The Borgias, which was about them, so definitely check that out. And now that we've had the party, there is one thing in the party that caught me not say off guard, but I had a feeling, but I was hoping she wasn't that person. I have to talk about dear sweet Ruby, my Ruby. Ruby has a dream, and Ruby has expressed that dream, and that dream is getting her damn resume right and tight so she can get hired by Marshall Fields. If you
Ruby,
don't know,
aka Booker T. Washington.
Okay, I was about to say. If you don't know what Marshall Fields was, it was a famous department store in Chicago, world famous. Once again, www.google.com. Google cut the check, bro. So she wants to get into Marshall Fields, but she said something at the party amongst friends, which we all have those type of friends. At one point, I was kind of like that, and then I said, fuck that observation. She said, to the extent, if more Black folks thought like me, the race would be in a much better position. But before she said she said, I'm going to work as hard as humanly possible to get where I have to go, which was to work in Marshall Field. And the way she said it, to the point of, oh yeah, they didn't hire me because I'm colored, of course, but I'm going to work to
I'll
get
show them.
where I want to. I'll show them. But at that point, I was like, okay, yeah, Ruby, you show them sons of bitches. But when she did the whole, if more black folks thought like me, we would be in a much better place. And I was like, okay, I get it. But it felt a little bit of responsibility politics. Respectability. There we go.
And yeah, I got to
Respectability.
interrupt you. Let me know when that's ever worked. I want to know how respectability politics works.
Cut your hair
people
and you'll get the job.
Hate you
Right.
for the fucking. You can so much as never spit on the sidewalk, but if someone hates you for the skin you're in, guess what? None of that matters. Exactly. Never ascribe to respectability politics. Booker T, rest your soul, but nah, bruh. Nah.
Yeah. So respectability, not responsibility. But still, once again, it is a responsibility that black folks are supposed to be better than our contemporaries and oppressors. We should be the turn the other cheek group and continue to take the slings and arrows and not really defend ourselves. But by defending ourselves would be by getting that job within our oppressor's space as being the one to do it, the first, the one to get out.
I'm there for your comfort. Yeah, that's totally enraging.
So
I'm there for your comfort. You're more human than me or something?
Right.
Ruby in her ambitions did give a little bit of, respectability politics in that little speech.
Right.
But I think that respectability died real quick when she saw the flicker from that cross.
Right.
Because as she was going, I would
guns,
oh, and them eyes got wide, and that cross got to burning.
And she became the getaway driver. She started talking.
Remember who she was? Yeah.
Ruby, get Floyd's keys and get
nobody had to tell her anything.
Respectability,
right?
We're not about to get hemmed up, right?
Oh God,
so,
yes.
Let's finally get on the subject that has been sitting there for the longest. We played enough foreplay. We have done it.
Oh, I like the segue.
Point. Let us talk about the lead up and then the get down. Because the lead up was great, as we saw Big Tree, who is a good friend of Tick and Letty. And,
I don't like him.
Oh, nobody likes him.
Oh, but he sure helped move that dial to people. So I ain't mad at Big Tree. Big Tree only brought out the truth. You need messy people. You need messy people sometimes.
And isn't always the messy people that get shit popping?
Yeah,
exactly.
Pretty much.
Gotta have. He's necessary.
He is necessary.
His friend is necessary. Because if not, we would have never had what we had.
Exactly. And
we needed his contract.
Boy, did we have it.
But let's give props to that dancing though. Even that scene, I knew what she was doing.
That was a seduction.
Oh, she knew exactly what she was doing.
Yeah, we're all women here except for Anthony. We know how to do what we do when we need to do
it.
Y'all full of shit.
He was balling. He was buckling.
He was a prop. That's all he was.
And
a dancing prop.
I knew it was
She hit on him in the basement.
Right, in the basement. What it was like a hit on. I don't think it was much of a hit on. I think
his hand.
He let go of him.
She wanted it right there and then.
That was a hit, Anthony. Subtle.
I didn't think it was a hit. I thought it was. I want
She was testing the water.
Me. Well, yeah, testing. Okay,
yeah,
testing.
Look at you being cute with it. No, she was hitting on him, like Adir said. She was.
Okay, you know what?
Women, we know how to make it look how we want to make it.
All right.
Okay. He's so cute.
Let's just give credit where credit is due. Just give it to Hot Twat Letty because she.
Don't do that. Don't you do that?
You know what? Yeah, because she was not actually what people thought she was.
Yeah,
exactly.
So
they thought she was a fast ass. They thought she was
because of red lipstick and all this.
He was a hating ass friend when he said,
even to be.
Remember?
But he was with her exactly.
Yeah.
And he rolled with it, but that goes to the whole femininity versus sexuality of Black women. They over sexualize us, and we're just out here living our life, and you're just assuming that because this country nigga said he rolled in the hay with her, that all of a sudden now she was open game or she was down for it or whatever, even though she was.
Okay.
But he assumed it.
And that's
But I caught that. I caught that in the last episode. Remember when they were on the bed and she was like, "Wait a minute," and she stopped him.
Yeah.
I said,
right. Right.
Yeah, I kind of caught that about her.
Came out. Right.
Yeah.
Tell that anaconda wanted some.
She wasn't ready for that, though. I ain't gonna lie.
She wasn't ready. She wasn't ready.
I don't think anybody.
Which is her choice. Like you said,
Right.
Ashley, it's when we ready, we ready.
And
Right.
the question I posed to the lady tour guides, and I think Ashley started playing with that, started saying it as well. The fact that Tree said what he said. Well, you remember, I don't know if you know, but me and Letty, we used to get around in high school, and I'm feeling kind of nostalgic. And I'm just looking at this, this big cornbread fed son bitch, and I'm like, now if Tick was in his good right mind, in his true mind, he'd have stole on you. I don't care how big you are.
Yeah.
Because look, nobody believe me, but if you can take your dad out, you can take any man out, no matter how big, and because your father is.
Tick is just that dude. I mean,
it's just that dude.
Tick ain't never said.
It caught me because y'all kept saying, with the whole dance thing. Letty was looking at him. When she turned her back to that guy and she raised her head, I do that with my eyes. I'm tight-eyed. I know how tight-eyed people look. You think our eyes are closed, but we see the fuckery you're doing.
Yes.
We see it.
She saw him.
She saw. She knew. And it led to in the bathroom, which, mind you,
with the ghost in the back.
We have not spoke about the ghost.
The haunted bathroom.
The haunted bathroom.
I know.
There was a haunting not once, but twice.
Ooh, the bed. Oh, Lord.
Oh, that was a beautiful scene. Woo. That was a fun scene.
The blanket. Ooh.
With the hands. Oh,
would have been out the door. Would have been out the
door. That was the moment I wish Dave Chappelle would have came out from the background and just go, "Gotcha, bitch." But because that was such a gotcha moment. And it kept going, and she gets in the bathroom, and we see another ghost. But when she looks up, she sees good old Tick. And Tick, who was drinking some of the liquor of Christ,
liquid courage,
had said, "No, it's time for me to let my true feelings be shown." And I personally didn't think it was love. I saw it was lust at that moment because of seeing her with the dude on the dance floor. And it was that, okay, I'm a solidify. I'm locking it down. I'm knocking it down. And he did. That he did.
Yes, he did.
See, I don't see it, to stop you, as lust. I see it as a primal need for both of them. And this is where I'm going to bring up, because guess what?
I saw passion.
Before there were the Western notion of romance and love and all this, the basics of life, fire, food, water, shelter, that community, sex in that sense. And it's not an ugly thing. It's a primal need. And especially when she said, it's what I needed. And to feel alive. Like, this is the thing that lets me know I am here. I'm here with you. I am not alone in all this.
Are you about to touch Halle Berry?
I'm about to, because I know a lot of people got upset over that scene.
Monsters
Ball.
Monsters
Ball. I'm not gonna knock how they have, to Ashley's point, over sexualized Black women, this and that. But in that scene with Halle Berry, and I'm gonna draw a parallel here. She lost her son. She was a poor Black woman. Her whole sunrise, sunset was that damn child. She lost it. There's nothing left inside of you. So you needed, even if it came from a white man, which is problematic in and of itself, you needed that thing to say, God damn it, I'm still here. I'm still alive. This is the thing to just shock me back into some kind of being before I lose my humanity, before I give up, before I just say to hell with it. And I understood that scene, despite some of the problematic history with it. That you need that thing. And guess what? For some people that might be, and Lord, I've been drinking, but anyway, it might be that bottle of wine to bring you back in touch with those feelings that you don't want to face. But that's how I saw the parallel between Letty's scene and that scene in Monsters Ball with Halle Berry. I'm here. do something to acknowledge that I'm here in the midst of all this fuckery, this pain, this shame, this hurt, this beauty. In the midst of it all, let me go back to something so very primal that without a doubt lets me know I'm here.
Right.
That's
she died.
I read that. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
She died and came back. Right.
And
she
if
was
you
in the
look
corner
at the parallel,
crying.
exactly.
She had to,
she
had to get her somewhere.
Right.
And guess what?
And
What
she
is
says
more
that
of a
in their
death?
conversation.
What is more of a death for a parent than losing a damn child to be brought back? So that's how I see those parallels. Yes, I know the problematic history of this, that, and the other, but I look beyond that because sometimes, believe it or not, and oh boy, I'm about to say this, sometimes it's more than black and white. There's a universal thing going on that's more powerful than all the shit we do here.
Right.
And that's what I saw.
Yeah. Totally agree.
I would still say lust, not to refute anything. It was just lustful.
I'm walking around the corner of your house right now, damn it.
Look, you know the address. We can throw
I know.
It's the store down in Motown. I don't
but
know. Okay, I'm not saying lust as a sinful thing. I'm just saying, like you say, it's primal.
The primal
flesh needing something. Lust is the flesh needing other flesh to communion with.
So I wasn't disrespecting the moment. I just saw it as two base beings locked in to basic instincts.
Okay.
And for me, when you look at Letty, once because once the truth truly comes out, you have a moment of, oh man, you kind of wanted that maybe that lovey-dovey side of a sex scene or lovey-dovey side of sex where I just want to be held, not the it could be corny, but more of a just love me while you're boning me, show me some love at the same time you're ramming it in.
But I think that was needed at that time.
At the time, it was just needed to have that, at say like Grandma Clump, that strumph.
But I feel like if he knew that she was a virgin, it wouldn't have happened that way.
No,
it would never happened that way because that's just not who he is.
Right.
But I feel like she was searching so hard to feel alive again that she did what a lot of women do. They mask it with something else. And like as y'all saw, after everything was done with, she still wasn't happy. She still wasn't fulfilled. It took something else happening later on for that woman to come out of her, But at that moment, when she had that moment of pleasure, it left quick, because that's not what she needed. Yeah.
Remember, she did
at that time.
The conversation
at that
time. Needed at the time.
She doesn't regret
at that time. Yeah.
Sometimes what you need versus what you want are two different things, but I agree with you 100%, Topeka, but I appreciate, because to me, and Anthony, you just called this ladies and no slam, but like I said, like a man will call me lady and I tell him this: I'm a lady when I choose to be. I'm a woman all the time.
Right.
And I think in that moment, she chose, I'm a woman. There's a need in me. The lady would have wanted the gentleness and this and that and the other. And that's just how I see it. But you're absolutely right. But she also acknowledged it's what she needed. And for survival, because we're talking about, like Ashley said, y'all, we forget she died.
Yeah.
This was for her very survival. Guess what? I died, but I am here.
Right.
I really am still here. This is what I needed to prove that.
Right.
Yeah.
I did actually, in fact, survive that. I am your flesh, not my flesh. I'm here.
Right.
Many battles.
And trust me, I'm always the one, no matter how much bullshit I want the gentleness too, but I also acknowledge that sometimes, you know what? If it's been a hard day, give me the thing that just makes me feel something.
Right.
I totally agree.
Wait, y'all,
yeah.
I'm not soliciting anyone on this. Let me just wait. That sounded kind of, look.
I was waiting for
this is not an open invitation.
So anybody reading this, watching this, no, I'm not soliciting anybody. Okay,
no. She's good. She's good. She's cool.
I'm just waiting for those YouTube comments.
But even to circle back to when she was in church, trying to, that's why I guess I said trying to fill a void, because she couldn't find it, and like everybody else apparently was finding it, so she couldn't find it in the spirit. She kind of didn't find it in the flesh. I mean, she found it, but it wasn't, all that. I mean, it was, enough, but it wasn't, she still were searching for something.
Yeah.
And she
even when buying
it.
a house.
Yeah, she's trying to mend with her sister. The sisterly bond that went to hell when she slipped and said the thing about the mom with the money.
And let's before we go into that, we are treated with the burning cross. And with the burning cross came the angelic growlings of Pastor Shirley Caesar. Get the bat, get the gats. It's time to go to war because the devil has got to go. And when Shirley said, "Satan, you ain't here no more. We gonna take you out."
She was done.
And
at that moment, she was done.
You might hate me, Ashley, but I will reference your queen,
Beyonce.
And the bashing of the cars, which I know I went on Twitter. I was wondering if the Beehive.
They don't love you like I love you.
There you go. If the Beehive would have said, "I saw my queen. I saw my queen in Letty." But unlike Beyonce, who was breaking windows because a man did her wrong, Letty was breaking windows and headlights.
It was still a man.
For the cause, it was still a man, but it was white man.
White man. Thank you.
But it was bigger than that because it was about us. It was the frustration. It was the anger. It was the I'm sick of y'all shit, and it's got to end. And if I got to bust a head, because I still see Letty is truly one of them head busters from New Orleans. I'm gonna buzz them windows. I'm gonna buzz them headlights. I'm gonna break your ass with this bat.
That had to feel good.
Oh,
I wish I could do that in real life.
Right.
I know, huh? Like, don't you want to do that?
With every swing, you could see that, like, her swing got better, stronger, and more efficient. Because she was letting loose, and
you did it with purpose.
And the love of seeing just us brothers in the background.
Yeah,
and
like, try some.
Letting
what you gonna do?
Letting her let loose and saying to everybody across that street who was staring, step up, step wrong, get down, and you will lay down. It's either way. You step up, everybody gonna go out tonight.
We all dying tonight.
We all
Another love letter to us. Like Ashley said, all Black women want is have our damn back.
Right. Crazy.
Right.
And that's a crazy.
You don't have to be perfect, but have
you don't have to do it for me.
Back. Like we have had wars all these hundreds and thousands of years.
Exactly.
It was a crazy that was needed. It was a crazy that was respected. It was a crazy that had to be
warranted.
Warranted in so many ways. But before we even go after that, did y'all catch the reference of references to a historic letdown at the one of the saddest parts of our history being here was mentioned in a supernatural way with the kids.
Yes.
And we saw the children playing with the Ouija board. And on the Ouija board was being a dick.
Oh, it was.
With with two of the children, but the one child I'm looking at was Bobo. And if you saw and looked at what Bobo was dressed in, and he asked the question, "Will I have fun on my trip?" And the board said no. If you've seen these pictures, he was a representation of a young boy named Emmett Till. Went down south for a summer vacation to be with family and was wrongfully accused of whistling at a white woman and was murdered. By a bunch
that
of
was a good catch.
Fucking assholes.
Sure did.
I didn't catch that one.
Bobo
I saw it later.
Not truly Emmett Till, but it is a really heartbreaking homage.
Because he was looking forward to it, like he said. He even alluded
he was looking forward to his trip. He was very
uncle or something. That was
And that was the story of Emmett Till, who was also very excited to go to his relative's house down south, and sadly was never able to come back home. And with that, we see that the ghost decides to be more of an asshole and goes after Diane and hurting all our hearts again to truly remind us that George is dead.
I don't know about that now.
Well,
But
once again, just saying, the
Nobody
ghost is
knows.
being a jerk. At first, when I saw it spelled George, I was like, Uncle George talking to him. Uncle George is talking to him. Oh, yes.
Right.
Come on, George.
Yeah.
Tell him something. And then it went ISDEAD. And I said, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you, ghost. You evil. You evil. You evil. You evil. And sadly, Diane had to, she had to come to the realization. While she was she was angry with her friends.
Yeah.
She, it's like, yeah, now it's truly in your face. Your father is not there. Maybe. Allegedly. He's allegedly dead.
Because dead don't mean he not there.
There you go.
Exactly.
Now, with that, we move on. The party, the breaking of the windows, the breaking of the glass, the breaking of the cars. The moment she throws the bat at the neighbors, I was like, oh, she can't be getting away with this. There's just no way in hell, sis.
That would have been a super fantasy.
Yeah, that'd have been way too much. Oh, wait. I know
That's
people gonna be like,
genre.
wait, y'all okay with ghosts and this, that, and the other, but couldn't believe Letty get up. Bruh.
No.
Letty was not gonna get away with bashing them white folks' cars in 1955. No way in hell.
No way in hell.
She was going to jail.
Right.
And we meet a new character.
A new asshole.
Yeah.
Thank you. We saw his cronies earlier. Just cruising, looking to ignoring, but protecting not them, not letting them, but protecting the other good folks of the North Side. We are introduced to Captain Burke. Captain Burke, not Captain Burke, Captain Lancaster. Burke is his crony. Lancaster and Burke are in the book. The captain, the way he is portrayed is truly how he is in the book. Wow. An asshole. If Lancaster was alive today, he would truly be a maggot. I'm just going to throw it out there and not have shame of saying it. He would be a maggot in the highest order. If being a maggot was a secret society, this fucker would be probably the president of the grand chapter.
He'd be like the police chief in Kenosha, I think, that said that,
Anyway, put him in a warehouse. Yeah. Arrest them and put them in a warehouse. And when they die, turn the warehouse into something else.
What?
Yeah.
I stopped watching the news like 2 weeks ago. I ain't lying.
Lovecraft Country is your news.
Yeah.
So
I might not watch until November 5th.
Yeah. We find out more that Lancaster had some nefarious plans. And he gives us a breakdown on the house itself and why the house was haunted. And let's go back to episode goddamn 2, where I said what they did to Tick reminds me of what those famous doctors have done with their horrendous experiments on black bodies.
Yeah.
And now we really see it with the previous owner, good old Hiram Epstein, who was
Frankenstein,
which once again touches on H.P. Lovecraft and one of his most favorite and well-known characters next to Cthulhu and the old gods and all that, Dr. Herbert West, better known as the Reanimator, which I will say, check out the horror film that Brian Usner did back in the mid-90s with Jeffrey Combs. I love that movie, The Reanimator. Hiram Epstein is Herbert West. He did some very nasty, disgusting, horrible things with black folks, where later on, if you have watched this episode, you'll see what he did. He was fired because he was discovered, mind you, but yet not arrested. Why was he not in jail?
He's white.
I wonder
why. White man.
Shut up, Melissa.
So
white man for 300, Alex.
yeah. So when we look at it and we see the horrors, Letty has gone from Letitia fucking Lewis to Letitia fucking Lewis, Ghostbuster.
Ooh, can I say something?
Please do.
I feel like in that very moment, I think we're going fast forward a little bit, but in that moment when she calls on the ancestors,
says their name.
I feel like that moment was her womanhood, that filled the void that she was looking for.
I agree.
Because like when it ended, she was like it was it. That's
powerful.
It. Right.
For everything. Yeah, she's everything.
Yes.
And she literally filled them. She made them whole. And in turn made herself whole. You know, that whole time.
I got chills. Yes, I got chills in that scene.
Y'all know how I was a thug last week.
She cried.
Thug tears that whole time. And I watched it twice, cried both times.
Yeah.
Because it was Shirley Caesar in the background, first of all.
Oh, I know.
Which I'd be ready to go to war anyway. And then it was her saying their names in the circle.
Right.
Yes.
And then them
power. Yes.
You back to that color purple. We're gonna sit around and whip your ass.
Yes.
That's exactly what they did. She made them whole by speaking their name. Because mind you, the ghost never attacked her. They never attacked her. They appeared.
It was
but
Hiram.
they never frightened her. They never frightened her. They
were kind of playful.
Yeah, they just kind of like they were like, oh, hey, girl. But they never really scared her.
Yeah.
But, you know, so they were always with her, but not against her. And so when she started putting the pieces together, she started making them whole and
how she put the pieces together. It took a couple of pictures and Hiram just told her, get the hell out of my house. Which was so awesome because I was like, here comes some Amityville loving. Let's see where we go.
And I think even more powerful. She named them and she said, you're not dead yet.
Right.
Yes.
So they were still whole.
Exactly.
She said, you're not dead yet. You're not forgotten. You cannot be dead unless you're forgotten.
Now,
right.
Let's bring that, since we're going to stick to that, because I'm going to say one more thing with...
And it's raining, so I'm going to move along. But anyway, I'm making y'all dizzy, but go on.
I'm going to stick to the Lancaster introduction and things that Tick and Letty found out is that Hiram and Lancaster were in cahoots.
Oh, yeah.
Hurt, and I don't want to say it like that, but hurting these black people, these black folks into his den of horrors and turning a blind eye to it. And with that being said, going now into your y'all talking about naming of the spirits. Let's put it into 2020 terms. Letty brought forth hashtag say they name.
Yeah.
Because what is the one thing that we truly own? If not our bodies, physical bodies, we own our names. Our names give us power. Our name give us being. Our name give us recognition. And the fact that these eight people, which, oh man, the fact that a fucking baby was one of the victims.
Yeah.
Ripped out of
water, ripped out of his mother's womb.
They care about our children?
It punches it that's a true punch to the gut. That was like, oh my goodness, this is horror. This is beyond horror. This is sick. You know. So I just went like, all right, it's time for some comeuppance for old Hiram. It's time. Yeah. And we learned a little bit more about Letty and her mama, because not only did we find out that Letty's mama supposedly gave her money, she kept it hidden from Ruby as well as Marvin. Ruby basically gave her the riot act and went off. And man, if that wasn't the harshest thing to say to your sister, you know, I thought you were fucked up, but you're really you were a fuck up, but you're really fucked up. You know, like that right there was very hard, you know, to like, for even for me as watching it was hard for me to swallow, like, damn girl, like shit, you know, there's selfishness, but then there's this. So Melissa's moving. So
I believe she needed to hear that.
Oh yeah. Was that?
Yeah. I believe that she needed to hear that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, she was like a gypsy type of person. She was always just going and moving. And even though she wasn't sexually active, she used her sexuality to kind of get what she wanted, you know. And I feel like what her sister said to her was harsh, but it helps her to realize, okay, I need to get myself together.
Yeah.
I need to put my feet down and settle, and actually not just say it, but be about what I'm saying.
Right.
Because, you know, even to the point where she said, when she told her sister at the beginning, when she wanted her to move in, to me, it kind of like was like a manipulating thing that she was doing, because she knew that she got this money from her mother, but she didn't tell her sister. You know, she said, come on, I want you to have this house. You don't have to pay no rent. And, you know, I want to open it to our people. But then she had it filled with all these people that were not like the bottom of the barrel type of people.
Right.
You know, they were her artists.
Yeah. They weren't people in need yet. They were just people that she wanted to be around.
Right.
Exactly. So to me, she was still being a little bit inside of herself. But when her sister said what she said, she had a wake up call.
Yeah.
You know, even, and I mean, and then the whole episode helped her to get to that point. But her sister saying it like really hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
She needed to grow up. Yeah, she needed to grow up.
Right.
Because now she really is a woman.
Yeah.
In every sense of the word.
And I love the fact of how you said it was time for you to grow up and be a woman, that it wasn't the moment of carnal pleasure. It wasn't the buying of the house. It wasn't the smashing and bashing of the cars. To become fully, you know, grown or fully in this game, she really had to have almost to me, a spiritual reawakening, a spiritual birth. And
she had to own her shit.
She had to own her shit. And own her soul and own herself. And when she met up, you know, when her and Tick, she's like, okay, I got to get all this evil out the house because I'm not moving, which I love. No white ghost is going to throw my black ass out this house.
And I love that he believed her immediately.
Yeah.
It was never oh, what do you mean? You're crazy or whatever. He was just like, which found out. Like he immediately, I was just like, God damn it, Tick. He's just a black man.
Isn't that great when someone has your back?
Somebody just said, and instead of me having to prove all of this, let me just show you what I got.
Right.
Don't, you know, he supports, and even in the beginning when he was about to, you know, go back home or wherever he lives, as soon as he saw trouble, he said, yeah, I'll stick around for a little while. I was like, that's a king.
Yes.
That's what kings do.
Yes.
That's what you do.
Love
It's
him.
some trouble. I'm saying, and that goes back to presently, where those black men had to rotate a guard for this black woman and her family being harassed.
Oh yeah, by the neighbors. Yeah,
I saw that.
That was in the Bronx.
That. No, I thought it's in the Bronx.
It was in the Bronx.
I thought it was Jersey.
Yeah, I thought
it was. I think it was either. No, it was in the Bronx.
I know what you're talking about though, and he was 75 or something like that.
Yes, yeah. She had to write everything down.
Yeah,
the police won't help her. So the black men of the neighborhood, they had bikers, they had even gang members would stroll by every so often.
Yeah, to check
they
on
took
her.
They took matters into their own hands and protected her. But that's what Tick did back.
You and me both.
Right.
I love it.
Tick did that in that time. We're still dealing with that in the present time, where black men have to step up and start protecting.
And it goes, and it truly goes back to episode 2 when Letty and Uncle George were trying to question Tick. You know, when they were having the memory loss, and they kept looking at it like, oh, maybe Tick got PTSD, or maybe he's shell shocked, and this, that, and the other.
Right.
And then here you see, okay, I'm not crazy. I'm not going through things. This is happening. And to see that Tick didn't, like you said, Tick didn't question it. Tick didn't have a second guess. He didn't be like, well, what about this? No.
That's right.
We've gone through the hell. I know it's real. You know, like you said, well, we got wizards and shit. Of course I'm going to believe you. There's just no way. Because even when they were in the basement and she said, I heard voices, he said, oh, no, I believe you.
Right.
I just, he almost went, I believe you, but then he stopped. He just went, oh no,
Yeah.
I believe you. After what
you got?
happened in depth, in Arnhem, I got you.
Right.
But we learn a little bit more about Letty's mom. That is actually in the book. Letty, Ruby, and Marvin's mom was a speaker of the spirits, but unlike the book, she was more of a Miss Cleo than anything else. So,
well, Letty did say she was a hustler, but she still
was a
researched
hustler.
her
Still
shit.
knew the
And
she
that's
still
what
knew
any
the
good
real
hustler
deal.
does. You
Exactly.
gotta make the con authentic.
Right.
And
So
that
go
part,
get the real one.
that part is in the book. She knew how to read people. She now I'm gonna use a little bit of the book as a backline. She used to do her card readings, her palm readings in the back of a hair salon that her good friend and her owned. So the reason she was so good at it, she would listen to the conversations
Right.
while the women doing their hair, and then she's like, "Well, let me read your palm. Let me talk to you." Oh,
Marie Laveau.
yeah, she hustled. She
was a
listened.
hairstylist.
A hustler.
But there is a twist in the book. Her mama actually, as well as Letty, did have a little. Yeah. Well, so she goes and finds a Creole woman. Maybe could be a disciple of Marie Laveau, old voodoo woman, and she does the rituals of putting the blood marks on the doors. If you go to the Bible, Passover story, all those old
Sacrifice the goat. You gotta
Yeah.
sacrifice the goat no matter what.
right.
What is
So-
it with the goats? Oh, never
I
mind.
don't know.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Hold on one second.
I love this. I freaking love this.
I wish you would keep it in.
Like, really, I gotta research why is it the goats? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a goat or a chicken.
Yeah. Like, what about those two animals?
Well, I've always, if I
And the
remember right,
lamb.
it in the lamb, it's
You gotta
innocence.
get the lamb.
Well, the lamb I understand.
Lamb is
Goats and
innocence,
the
but I
chicken.
think it's with goats and chickens, it's mostly a sacrificial offering of base form. I can't remember.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I know there were some tribes in Africa that would sacrifice a lamb, a goat for the hunt.
Well, yeah, because goats
sacrifice-
were their
uh,
main
Yeah, their
source
main
of
source. Yeah, so
food.
it's like
it was
a
like
thank
cows today. Yeah.
Right. But we ain't
Yeah.
sacrificing that cow. We ain't giving it to the God. We putting that on the plate. So
Well, they
So,
goat meat, goat cheese, and goat. They use the goat. Never mind.
yeah, here in
I
Devon
thought it was like
County,
maybe
we
because
think
it's a horned animal. I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever.
could
I'm
be.
gonna research that.
could be.
I'll have the answers next week.
Yes.
Yes. Google.
So with everything, they do the ritual. She's marking them. She gives them the protection mark. They go into the basement where it's heavy. And what caught me, the way the priestess was going, I was like, oh wait, she about to hustle. Because I'm kind of thinking about Letty's mom. I'm reading the room, but I'm about to
Right.
hustle. And I just love how Tick just went, where you found her? Well, she was a friend of my mama's.
Yeah.
And even though my mama was full of shit,
Yeah, she was.
she was
She knew the real deal.
real about her
She the
business.
closest I can get.
Yeah, she's the closest I can get.
Mhm.
So they go through it, and we go through a ritual, and we hear a little bit of Creole. I didn't know what the hell they were saying, even though most of us are in Louisiana, us three, myself, Melissa, and Ashley. I didn't understand it, but I knew it was something because
I understood a little bit of it.
I understood a tiny, tiny bit.
Because some of those words, you're like, oh, okay.
But this is where you have to love it, because though she was speaking a language that is mixed with a European language, she was not calling for a European religious holy figure. She was calling Mama or Mother Oya. And if you don't know about Oya,
Nigerian.
www.google.com. Look for Oya and the Orisha. Nigerian, mostly West African, but a lot of them do come from Central as well as South Africa. These are the gods. Ba, Segment, all of them. This is who she was calling for protection as well as to reveal and to free the house from. She wasn't doing an exorcist. The power of Christ compels you. No, she was calling
She's
out.
calling on the ancestors.
She was calling on the ancestors to do what they do best, and that is sweep out the shit and bring in the happiness.
Right.
But the happiness didn't come as quickly because we had some good friends show up. Good old, friends of the Caucasian variety who decided, damn it, breaking the boiler didn't work. Doing the horns didn't work. Using the tactics that, like Tick said, they did in the military back in Korea was not working. We're going to have to go in and bust some ass ourselves. We're going to have to do a personal invite, invite ourselves in a home that's not theirs, mind you, and beat the living crap out of these black folks.
But everything is theirs, Anthony. Well, everything. You didn't know that? So
in my world, yeah, I already knew that, but shit, I'm trying to be. I'm
being messy. I'm just being petty.
It's okay.
Petty but truthful. Petty but truthful.
Truthful.
I liked, even through what they were doing in the basement, that the ancestors were still looking out when they came in.
Yeah, they was ready for that
time to go.
They was ready for those ass.
It was go time with the ghosts because, woo, man. Those that first appearance of the woman with the missing jaw, and I don't know, y'all don't watch Rick and Morty, but there's a moment when Morty would make this face and his lips would hang. That's what that woman looked. You know what I'm talking about? Where he's just like,
yes, when he's drinking, right?
Yeah, and he's like, she had no mouth. There were floating arms, but now we get to see the comeuppance and the karma, the 360. The evil that you placed upon me shall come back to you tenfold, because, oh boy, that ghost with the basketball jersey,
the baby's head.
And I love good horror. I love good horror. I love good scary creatures. I love them. But I was not ready for the baby head on that big dude's body, on that basketball player's body. And what got me was the elation from that baby.
Right.
When they tried, like, and his little eyes got wide and he went, ooh. And I was like, sorry, white ball, you gone.
Fresh white meat.
Yes,
but isn't that the unimaginable horror? I mean, that's what they presented to us on screen, but the thing some of these people that is historically accurate did to our bodies.
Yeah.
Because Hiram, I mean, I'm kind of laughing, but that is just, I guess I have to laugh to keep from being enraged, because the things that they did to us.
Yeah.
You saying that, I was talking to my friend earlier who's watching as well. And I was like, this series is so good. And you just like, oh my gosh, this is so good. But at the same time, you feel bad for even like feeling that it's so good because of that. And it's just like, right.
Yeah. But the baby boy, or should I call him baby boy? Should I call him Jody? Let's call him Jody.
You know what?
Going with baby boy. No.
Not Jody.
John Singleton.
Right.
Yeah. Jody. I know.
I hate that movie, by the way.
I know that movie. We gonna do a binge watch. And
we're gonna have to, because
we're gonna talk our hate
that and Love and Basketball is the worst movies in the world.
Hold it.
Wait, exactly. To peek on with you. Wait, Ashley.
Wait a minute. I was with you for a second there, Ashley.
Hey,
we're gonna have to stay. We're gonna table that.
Once we cut, I stand firm.
This is the first time. This may be the first time a black man gonna hold you back on this one. Hold that fury until we
hold it.
Hold it. So they are. This is my white person joke. If they get mad, they get mad. It was something to see white meat get boiled. No seasoning, because we fry. I was like, well, Them white boys are being cooked just like they cook. No seasoning, and they boil everything.
But you had to know when at the beginning when they said 3 people were missing. I knew it wasn't 3 white boys.
Right. I was like, oh, they the 3.
Get to it.
They the 3.
That's the 3.
Yes.
Get to it.
So the two big ones, you know, they were cooked, they were boiled, they were steamed. Ooh, steamed vegetables. They were steamed. See, healthy. White folks, y'all are healthy. So y'all died the way y'all act. Y'all boiled, y'all
diced
things.
Diced, sliced, and steamed.
Exactly. And the elevator.
Yes, that elevator.
Its wonderful appearance again.
Yeah.
We knew it was gonna come to play. We knew it was gonna come into play.
This is the kid in me. Y'all remember? I think it was either Animaniacs.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was on Animaniacs. Little Mindy, who had the dog friend, the dog who was always protecting.
She had the bone. She had the bone.
She had
bow.
No, that's Elmira.
No.
Elmira,
that's Elmira. Okay.
Mindy was the little girl that the dog constantly tried to protect because she kept getting into trouble. Like she would go off, baby Mindy, and he would save her. But she had this little thing where she would say, "Elevator go up, elevator go down."
I do remember her.
And that popped in my head. When old boy looked, and that elevator just separated him head from shoulders. And to quote the great Jizza from the Wu-Tang Clan, he struck him where the Mason-Dixon line crossed. Right in the game over. Goodbye. And the way he fell, I just went, elevator go up, white boy go down. So that
Tamika, you okay? Because I'm looking at Tamika's face right now.
I have a very crazy mind. When I see crazy shit, I'm gonna say crazy things. But it was good karma. It was great Tales from the Hood. It was a great vengeance movement. But it wasn't over because, to quote Chris Rock and his daddy, to beat a white man, you got to kill him. Hiram wasn't gone, and Hiram wasn't going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And he made his move. It started to work. Got rid of the protection. And sadly, we had to say probably goodbye to our mother voodoo queen. Because Hiram was like, I'm going to take this black ass and I'm owning it now.
When the minds go black, it's never good.
It's never good. It's never good.
Nope.
But we saw, as we spoke of earlier, you ladies, y'all brought it up. We finally saw the true power of Letitia fucking Lewis. And we saw the power in the name. We saw the power in the word.
Yeah.
She named them. In the newspaper, even though they had their names, they were just little bylines. They were the forgotten. They were the, they're black. We're not worried about them.
They're the black women and children that still go missing.
Yeah, that still go
all
missing
have
today.
names.
That no one really pays attention to. And sadly, I'm one of those horrible people because I'll see it and I'm like, oh, okay, well, what else is new? But she found her power, her true power. And she gave that power to those who were no longer victims, but victors. Because when they came out, number one, ooh, man, the little boy with the man arms was the first to truly show himself. And she grabbed him and they made their circle. And they just kept going and chanting. I still laugh at Hiram taking over Tick. Because that first line, get the fuck out my house, bitch.
I know.
I was just like, Tick. No. I know it's Hiram, but it's just the point of his, that hate. Hiram's hate was just deep.
Yeah.
It went from beyond the grave. And there was another little bit of love to Uncle George when Tick had told her in the bar. This is the part where Uncle George would tell us about the haunted house. a haunted house story. So Uncle George is not dead. He lives in Letty and Tick.
Yeah.
So they fight. We see Letitia come up and jump in, y'all. Jump in, because I don't want to be the only one talking on it.
Okay, well, this is the thing, like you're saying. He's saying, get the fuck out of my house, bitch. And this is the whole thing. And it's Letty's power as a woman. It's Letty's, I'm going to go back to the mitochondrial Eve. You can't destroy what you didn't create and all this other stuff. So that's why everything Hiram and any other white person on this earth who wants to do against us will always fail. But this is the thing. When she said, no, you get out of my house. Right. That's reclaiming what has always been ours. Exactly.
Right.
This land, and if you want to bring some history into it, like, yeah, a lot of us were brought here from slavery, but guess what? Anthropologists, historians, we were here.
We were here.
We were already here, along with some Native Americans.
Pyramids all over the world.
Seminole Native Americans aren't slaves who married Native Americans. No, they were Black peoples who are already here with the Seminoles, and they married. So let's drop some history right there. Google's your friend, but hey, and other historians.
www.google.com. Cut the check,
but
Google.
This is the thing. It was a reclamation of what was ours to begin. You cannot truly take something from someone that was never yours.
Right.
You can't take something that was for somebody. You can steal it. You can temporarily have it and do what you think you're going to do with it.
Right.
But a reclamation comes. A reckoning comes.
A reckoning.
And that's what Letitia was doing. This is the reckoning. This is the reclamation. No, you get the fuck out of my house.
Right.
I paid good damn money in this.
Look, you know what? Let's talk about the ghosts for a minute.
Yeah.
Let's talk about them.
There was some
Melissa, who always takes too deep of a dive, and yes, your UT people can laugh at me.
Some amazing makeup, I will say. Props to the people.
That was true.
But
let's look at the ghost. The Black woman's mouth is missing.
Yeah.
The silencing of the woman.
Black businesswoman.
Exactly. The mouth.
She had a business
cut off.
Take their power. Yeah.
Exactly. The race and the gender is met as an encompassed intersectional in us. So you signs turn all ways. Look at the basketball player.
The basketball player.
With the baby. What do they say in some studies? That when police shoot us, they think that a Black little boy who's 12, 6,
is
or whatever.
A grown-ass man.
Is a grown-ass man. So I actually wonder if those things were also done purposely too. Because
I think so.
It takes too deep sometimes. I was reading all that into it. The grown-ass, the child.
There's a doctor,
really
someone.
Exactly.
There's a doctor. There's the woman with the child.
Well,
exactly.
the woman who's
they don't care about our children. We can go to town on this one.
There was also one. Her breasts were gone, and her and
not seeing us as women, not seeing us as being worthy of protection.
And
there was a Black little boy,
the little boy who had the man arms. Once again, like the little the baby head.
That's what I'm saying. See, I looked at those ghosts real
right.
Yeah.
And I thought that whoever was doing that was giving us a message there too.
Yes.
Like I said, I take the deep dives. I could be wrong just for
I think you're right on it. I think you're right on it. Even when the baby was removed from the mother, and I think about Planned Parenting. I think about Planned Parenting and how that was established to, stop the Black
eugenics
from reproducing. So I believe it was all that was symbolic of something.
And when I saw the basketball player, I thought of LeBron and the shut up and dribble shit.
Yeah.
That's true too.
Right. Because they try to take a Black man, just shut up and dribble. So they want to put a baby's head on a grown man because we want to control you, but we know you have this gift. We don't want you to succeed so far.
And also
opening schools.
And contrast with Drew Brees, excuse me, and the contrast with how they treated Drew Brees.
Right.
True. But also, if you go on that route, what do they always say when Black folks start putting their shit out in the street? All their sins, you're whining. You're always crying about something.
You're a millionaire.
So if you,
they make us infants.
The whiny athlete. If you think about it, because that's what they see LeBron them as now.
Ungrateful,
right? Because they demand
ungrateful children. Yeah, ungrateful child.
You make millions of dollars. Yeah, you.
It's like was that little Stepford child? Jared Kushner was saying.
I just said that about how LeBron is lucky.
You know? Yeah, you should be lucky. Yeah.
And the irony of him saying that with his couldn't pass to save his life, but his dad paid his way in Harvard. Get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. Like those athletes were given anything. They work hard.
Right.
To where they're at.
On top
we should
of
be grateful.
being a black man.
Yeah.
We should be grateful.
Yeah.
So
right.
Whatever.
That they're 1%
full circle about saying this is our house.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't tell me to be grateful in my
You get
own
the fuck
house.
out. You get the fuck out.
Thank you, Ashley. Say it again, Ashley.
You get the fuck out of my house. The end.
That was a word.
Right.
Hiram,
and that is why
Hiram truly is that goes that tells you go back to Africa.
Yeah.
Let's just go back to where you come from. That's Hiram Epstein.
He could be all of that, but Hiram is no more.
Yes.
Because Letitia drove that ass to the hell, whatever hell.
Hello.
Exactly.
Is waiting for him.
Right.
Put that demon where he belonged.
Yeah.
Underground.
Showing the names, saying the names, giving them life because they weren't dead yet, as Letitia said. They started to become whole again. They became themselves again, and they were able to cross over in peace, knowing that the beast that did them in has been done in, and thus happy life, right? Maybe, sorta.
It's only episode 3.
It's Lovecraft country, not necessarily.
And not even just saying it's episode 3. There is some there's some truths that have been revealed on the and I told y'all last episode. Check out episode 2 of Devon County. Click the card right here. There was something about little old Christina Braithwaite.
You know what?
Super Karen. Super Karen.
Thank you. I
like Super Karen. Can we call her Super Karen from here on out?
Yes.
Super Karen. Because baby, what she told him in the end. Go on, Aunt. Go on. Get there.
Survived.
Get there.
Who truly survived the falling of the lodge.
Right. Which I said,
they didn't show her. They didn't show her. So she lived.
Like a damn cockroach.
And come to find out, she is the puppet master because Letitia Mama ain't had shit.
Exactly.
Ain't that song?
And then we see and we find out why Letitia was guided to the Winthrop house.
Right.
And there is I'm not even gonna say the brother name. He was a actor. I will call him like they called those kids at the high school. He was a crisis actor. I'm just gonna use the term because the crisis is there's something in that Winthrop house. And why?
Oh, yeah.
And they use Letitia pretty much as a puppet. But Tick, being the man he is, figured it out when he saw that Bentley. And when he saw the Bentley, he said, you know what? It's time to confront that motherfucker. And Tick had learned a lesson again. Just because you are an educated black man, and just because you are a strong black man, there are forces that will stop you from getting what you got to get and getting the job done. And I don't know if y'all noticed, but the way Christina walked was very demented. Like it was demonish to me. Like she was stilted. Like
her daddy came through her.
Yeah. And
she is her daddy's her father's
daddy's
daughter.
Oh
yes, definitely.
So white women holding up the patriarchy.
Exactly. Because when she went, for me, I was just looking at her mannerisms, how she went to do the blind.
Right.
It was kind of, like broken. Like, what is wrong with you, girl? Fix your legs. I know you straight up and down like a beanpole. Your ass is longer than a Monday. But
Lord,
can
I pass out right now?
Walk.
Not the classic, not the old school white booty.
Oh yeah, pancake.
Yeah, the old school.
Just like mom used to make.
Yo, son,
when they thought a fat ass was the worst thing you could possibly have.
Everybody got ass.
But we did see,
bought or not,
thousands of squats
from the back.
Guys, this is if we're gonna compare, she is the Paris Hilton of this show.
Yeah. She's a demon.
She's a demon. And she basically showed her true colors. She ain't
she did. Yeah.
She's aware of her whiteness.
Her whiteness. And a true
white privilege.
A true Karen through and through, from raisins in the potato salad to calling the cops on a young black kid. That is Christina Braithwaite, because she pretty much told his strong brother, you ain't shit.
But she still wants him, though. She wants him.
She wants him.
She needs him.
She needs him. Yeah. Because when she doesn't need him anymore.
Right. It's a wrap.
She needs him.
Can we say feminism movement, everybody?
Wait, hold up. We can say white feminism.
I'm just saying.
Ideology. Hold up.
I'm just saying. The using
the first feminist nor the true feminist, but okay. But
all I'm saying is the using of a certain people to get what you want and then dump them. That's why I
they
said
tried it with
feminism.
Frederick Douglass too, but he's got their ass in the dust. Even though he later married one of them, even though he's with us.
Hell, even to a point, civil rights movement had been played out as well.
There was a quote we're not discussing.
Oh no, we getting to that quote?
Look, actually ready.
We getting to the quote?
I didn't put my glasses on.
Okay, because
I'm ready.
Then let's move. She basically gives him a little history lesson. Titus, the original owner of the house, Horatio Winthrop, gave him all the stories about spell making. The reason why old dearest daddy Braithwaite died. And she has his legacy of immortality. Well, not invulnerability.
Invulnerability, right.
She's not immortal. She's just invulnerable. And poor Tick was trying to pull that gun, but his heart wasn't in it. But his heart was in it. It was just a spell saying, nah, bro, you ain't doing it.
Right. Exactly. He was going to pull that
sweating.
Maybe he was ready.
He was ready. I applauded him. Pull it.
Yes. Right.
He was standing up for his family.
That's what I was
exactly.
He was standing up for his family. I loved it. Yeah.
And to our allied friends who may be watching, if this was a movie and you were in this movie with a bunch of black folks, this is the part where black people have been, shoot that bitch, shoot that bitch now.
Shoot it in the face.
Shoot it in the face, Tick. Kill that bitch. Exactly. We would be screaming louder than the speakers that will be playing the movie. You'd probably miss the last 15 minutes of that moment, but you would be a part of a community because your ass didn't get cussed out and you enjoyed the moment. You could go. You were
invited to the cookout.
You were invited to the cookout on this one. Thank you. So it didn't happen. Poor Tick. He realized no matter how strong he was, and this is where I say a white woman is stronger than you. And there's the quote where she just said, after she told him, if you want to learn more about the family history, give me a call. But also Tick. Now you know you can't just go around shooting white women.
White people.
And she didn't say white people.
She said white women.
White women.
Because she recognized how they were weaponized.
That's a weapon in itself, right?
Oh, yeah. That moment, she farmed all the Karens like Voltron.
after
I hate you, Anthony. I hate
all the Karens was like, yes, sister. Yes, you tell
I hate you right now, but you're right.
Those Karens sat there with
notes.
Oh
they took notes.
If they would use that little clip and air it, they would have way more viewership. They would be like, "Oh, I have to watch this."
Yes.
You know what?
What this is about?
You're right.
Oh my God, maybe this show is good.
Yeah.
You're right, Ashley.
We're empowered. We do have power.
But look what she said. She said right before she said that, she said, if you want to know more about our family, our family. But then she said, you can't just go around shooting white women.
Right.
It's like, you dirty bitch.
Well, and she said it so comfortable, like so comfortably, so comfortable.
Yeah.
So
almost like some advice. Like
we're family.
Advice.
Oh, we blood, but you ain't this.
But you still use the back door.
Exactly.
Right.
Hey, thank you.
You go to the colored
thank
section.
You.
Back of the bus, because you just can't go around, black man, shooting on white women. Sorry.
Straight for whatever little power she had.
Dude, look, the Wonder Karen's powers were activated form of
can't
a
with you
fake
right now.
ally,
Voltrons, Wonder Karen.
form of a cell phone dialing 911. You will not sell lemonade on my block. You will not barbecue in the park. Your black ass is done. No matter how much we may get shit on by our white men, but boy, we are still more powerful than your black ass.
Right.
And all we have to do is shed a tear.
Yeah.
And it's over for you. And like I said, we are discussing racism, and God damn it, it's real.
Yeah.
This may be a show of fiction, but as in all shows or all pieces of art that is fictitious, there is fact within it.
Yep.
So that episode ends. That is how it is. And damn, did it end hard. Because, like I said, the Karens got a one-up. And we learned that Christina is a puppet master. She is a manipulator. She's the devil. And now
in a silver car.
In a silver car. And now we have to wonder how far, well, not say how hard, how long and how strong are those strings that she's pulling?
She's the bullet you didn't see coming, the silver bullet. And I'm going to bring this to present day. And yes, I'm going to go there, and I don't care who hates me. Don't give a damn. But this reminds me, 2016. All right.
Hot sauce in my purse?
No.
Oh,
not her.
The reason why
why Agent Orange stepped his big nasty ass toe in the people's house.
And
I'm gonna wait to see what they're gonna do this time.
But it did
because
bring
let me tell you this:
heads.
we always look at white men. We always look at white men and this, that, and the other. But I've been saying
something.
Check
You are so right.
Check the ones the fairer sex, so say. Because baby, if you don't believe a majority of them, don't mind them those men. They're right. A hit for them where they're just as racist, just as bigoted, and just as motherfucking nasty and demonic.
The 57,
you got another thing coming.
What was it? The 57%?
Yeah.
Or the 53%?
They're the ones who voted for them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
So see, they've been getting away with it. But you know what? I'll give 2020 this. Masks are off. Reconciliations are happening.
And y'all have a new name.
And people are recognizing what I've been recognizing about the fairer sex.
Yeah. And while we're on the subject of Karen, let us also give a shout out to our ancestor Chadwick Boseman, whose skit on Saturday Night Live brought the Karens to a whole new line of anger and hostility. Because yes, we do know y'all do put raisins in the potato salad.
And you ain't never gonna be right for that fact alone.
That right there.
Never.
You will never be right on God's green earth if you are putting raisins in potato salad.
Why?
It's over. It's done. You're finished.
It's because it's holistic. It's nature. We have to eat
it's nasty.
It's nasty.
That's a lie.
It's just nasty. It's just nasty. So, if this can do one thing, well, you know what? No, y'all can keep y'all nasty potato salad. That's how we can point y'all asses out. Y'all was about to say y'all could change it, but no, don't change it. Let us know so we could know not to eat it because we ain't eating it anyway at the cookout or the company party.
Potato salad, unwashed legs. And you don't.
Y'all got cats. These are cats. It's no cats.
They let the soap. I was reading on Twitter one day. They said the soap.
Anthony, they're gonna Nick Cannon you.
Oh yeah, they're gonna Nick Cannon me.
Me too. I'm gonna be right there with you, bro.
And guess what? What am I gonna yell? I want Devon County back. No, no, I'm all right. You know,
we'll be the women backing you up.
We'll start a new channel.
Right.
If I gotta be the male lady with the bat and y'all be the men with the women with the shotguns, guess what?
You know we got your
hot sauce.
Let's pop a
I got
shot.
hot sauce.
Keep the show going. Keep the show going.
Yeah.
Hot sauce in the car.
If we can't
hot
laugh
sauce at the house.
My thing is if we can't sit and laugh and talk about them like they probably sit and laugh and talk about us, what the fuck is good for? You know,
No, they plot against us. We sit and laugh.
Yeah, this is
they sit and plot.
Shits and giggles.
Yeah, shits and giggles. Yeah,
shits and giggles and prison life in prison is two different things.
That is true.
You know,
So, as I said before,
maybe there's some Debbie Decents out there.
There are.
Well, there are people that happen to be white, and then there are white people, like Amanda Seales said. You know, like there's the Karens, and then there's the Hannahs. Hannah is cool; she just happened to be white, but she understands the oppression. Karens don't give a fuck about your oppression,
right?
Because they're worried about their oppression of
which
whatever
is
the hell.
Why can't I put raisins in the potato salad, Shaheem?
Right.
Raisins are healthy. Why?
Why does my husband treat me like crap? So I'm gonna take it out on everybody else at work.
Hey, ain't my fault he fell in love with Sabrina.
Right.
And I haven't seen episode 4, but I want to see how that
episode 4 is out.
Play out if Letitia knew, if it wasn't a spell, that she took Super Karen's hand and said, "Let's do this together." Because baby, that's not going to end well.
Right.
Excuse me.
That's not going well at all for you. Then we're getting to Susan B. Anthony and to hell with you, black women. We need the Southern white women. So down the river you go. So I'm just waiting to see how that's going to play out. And look, I have to say this because I said it through the whole podcast. Not that I get into signs or anything. No, I'm not.
I thought you was going to say you.
I should have drank the whole bottle.
Yeah.
But Topeka and that painting behind her, the way that crown is sitting perfectly on the real true queens of this earth.
Yes.
There you go. Peep it. She didn't do that on purpose, but
and the fan blowing.
She got her Beyonce fan going.
Yes.
But look how it's like perfectly on her head. The real queen.
She's like, I watch Homecoming 17 times. I am perfectly centered with the fan. My hair is blowing. My crown is beautifully polished.
No. When you're
look at it, I've just been noticing.
You gotta force it.
It just is.
You just is.
I've been noticing
it's aligned. Everything
Thank
aligned.
you, ladies.
Yes.
So Super Karen had her moment this episode.
Yes.
I have a feeling it's all for naught.
Well,
let her have her fun.
In most things, we hope, like I say, karma is a mofo. And we did see karma work in a wonderful way. Episode 4 give us more greatness. We don't know yet because we have to watch it. And when
I thought you saw it. Okay, all right.
It's called Lead Up. I'm not gonna tell you. Okay, since Melissa decided, I have seen episode 4, but I will not talk about episode 4.
You did good.
Yeah, y'all. I drank wine. Ignore me. I drank wine.
My other lovely tour guides see it as well, and we will be back because Devon County ain't going nowhere.
Right.
If I get canceled, guess what? You can't cancel somebody who don't believe.
They'll call us racist, Aunt, for telling the truth.
Anyway, so we move on. That does not bother me. You know, I can't. I'm a dude like them old black folk. I can't be racist.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I can't oppress you.
I can't oppress you.
I can curse your ass out good, but I can't oppress you.
Melissa, what did we discuss?
I could not stand your ass, but go ahead. It's good. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Melissa, remember when we discussed on the first episode, I think it was, where they created racism. They need to fix it.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
All I can
we
do,
just hit.
It's exactly. All I can do is smile, keep it moving, give a proper fuck you to those who try to do me wrong, and look at them dead in their face and say, you know what? Fuck you, fuck your ancestry, and fuck the descendants that come from your bloodline, because just like you, they were all equally shit. I will not say I'm better than you because I already know, and you know that I am better than you. So you must live with the sadness of that fact. And with that, in closing, it is time to go because the sun is going down. And we all know Devon County is a sundown county.
Sundown county.
Which means it's time for you to get your asses up out of here because you don't want any of the drama that will come once the sun or the day becomes night. Let me put it like that. So, in parting, I want to thank the rest of the tour guides here, myself included. And this is a horrible ending because I had way too much fun with y'all. I don't want it to end. But at some point, we got to go because even YouTube going to be like, wait, that's just too much shit. Y'all got to go.
Which fire.
You guys got to go.
Right.
So
hate speech.
I will say it quickly. Sun is down. It's time to leave Devon County, but we hope you do come back. We want you to come back. We want you to be a part of the conversation as well. While you can't talk with us right here and right now, I hope as you watch, you're yelling and cursing and saying, but wait, you forgot about this. And if you are doing that, put it in the comments so we can read and enjoy. And let's have that nice conversation. Any Karens, if you feel offended, please put it in the comments. We want to know exactly who you are so we know who you are.
Oh, so yeah. And disclaimer
exactly.
here, I called the Super Karen a cockroach. I was mistaken. She's an albino cockroach.
Albino cockroach. Yeah.
Those are the scarier ones because you
exactly.
Because you know, oof. Oh, and speaking of cockroaches, fuck you, Captain Lancaster.
Yeah.
The guy who played him, wonderful job. You played that piece of shit perfectly. But the National
and
Association
God rest
for the
Freddie
Advanced...
Gray's soul, because that's what that scene reminded me of.
Peace and blessings to Freddie Gray, Breonna Taylor, Trayford Pellerin, the rest of the cops who have murdered them all. I don't care what that fake ass jury said for Freddie Gray. They were wrong in what they did to him. Trayford Pellerin, oh boy, I hope justice for you and your family comes swift. Those cops were wrong for taking you out. Breonna Taylor, we can't say it enough. Those bastards need to go, from the cops that killed you to the people who set up the whole sting. They all need to go. George Floyd, we already know. It's time for those. Old boy may be in jail, but it's time for him to be under the jail. It's time for y'all to go. So, thank y'all for watching. Don't forget, wash your hands, wash your feet, wash your ass, wear a damn mask. Thank you to Gadir, Melissa, Ashley, the amazing Topeka Van Horn for joining us, who is now, she is not an honorary, she is a true tour guide. Hopefully she'll come back next week if she's not on assignment, which she probably will because she has another little tour to run. It's called the Anniversary Tour. Congratulations to 20 years of being married.
Happy
anniversary. Black love.
That is Black love.
Thank you.
Yes, that is the velvet painting that our uncles had in their house. Black love.
Oh, Lord.
roll your eyes, Ashley Effenborough, but that's what it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to Devon County. We hope to see you again for another tour. Subscribe, like, comment, share, get in the conversation. Let's have fun. Let's talk. Karens, you are invited, but just keep in mind, keep the raisins out of the potato salad. Matter of fact, don't bring nothing. Just bring yourselves.
Plates and cups.
Plates and cups. And just come on in and learn something new. You might become a hammer. Thank y'all for watching. Have a good night. Have a good life. And to quote the great Maya Angelou, when you know better, you do better. So God damn it, go and do better. Peace out. We'll see you next time right here in Devon County.